From 1983 to 1985, a series of mysterious disappearances occurred in several villages in Shang County, Shangluo District, southern Shanxi Province, China. Many people who went to work in the towns or traveled to the city to buy goods vanished without a trace. By May 1985, 37 people had been reported missing. Du Changqing, over 40 years old, was one of them. On May 16, 1985, Changqing woke up early and went to the market with his older brother to buy food for their pigs. After they split up, Changqing never returned home, and the family searched for him everywhere in vain. In the late afternoon of May 27th, his brother went to the city again to search for him. As he passed by the county's paper mill, he met their cousin, Hu Yiding, who worked there as a cashier. Hearing that Changqing had been missing for over 10 days, Yiding suddenly remembered that 2 days earlier a man had come to cash in a receipt for selling barley straw, worth 1.85 yuan, about 0.26 USD, which was signed in Changqing's name. The man claimed that Changqing owed him money, so he had intercepted Changqing on the road, and Changqing gave him this receipt. On May 28th, Changqing's brother identified the man who cashed the receipt as 44-year-old Zhimin. Changqing's family immediately planned to catch Zhimin and take him to the police station. As they were struggling with him, another group whose relative had also gone missing tracked down Zhimin as well. Earlier, on January 11th, 1985, Kong Tanhei and several others had gone to work in Xi'an. While preparing to return home by bus, they met Zhimin, who said he needed to hire people to dig a pigsty and offered to pay 5 yuan per day, about 0.71 USD. Tanhei accepted the job and went alone, never to return. Tanhei's brother had been searching for both Tanhei and Zhimin for months and had repeatedly reported it to the authorities, but no response had come. On May 28th, Tanhei's family found Zhimin at the same time as Changqing's family. The two families then escorted Zhimin to the police station to report him. When interrogated, Zhimin gave vague answers saying, "Changqing owed me 20 yuan, so he gave me the barley straw receipt. After that, I don't know where he went. As for Kong Tanhei, he worked at my house for one afternoon, stayed the night and left early the next morning. I don't know where he went after that." Both missing persons were linked to Zhimin, prompting the police to detain him and conduct a search of his home. Through investigation, it was revealed that Zhimin was a notorious thug with a bad reputation in the local area. In 1977, he had once lured a mentally ill woman to his house, locked her upstairs, and raped her for several days before being discovered. In 1978, through an acquaintance, Zhimin married Wu Tingjun, who was disabled due to meningitis. Their life was difficult, often lacking enough to eat, and they had many debts that they refused to repay. On the morning of May 29th, 2 police officers arrived at Zhimin's house and found all the windows blocked with bricks, making the house dark, like a bunker. The ground inside the house showed signs of having been dug up and then filled in, and the wooden stairs leading to the attic had purple-black stains resembling blood. The 2 rooms were piled with filthy items. At first, Wu Tingzhen claimed, "There's nothing in the house." Later, she said, "Once some strangers came to my house. They slept in the bed at night, and I heard noises in the outer room. The next day, they were gone." She then added an incoherent statement. "I washed the clothes, and the water turned red." Upon further inspection, local village officials mentioned that Zhimin's house emitted a strong stench, which kept the neighbours from wanting to come near. The head of the police criminal investigation unit recognised a distinct smell within that odour, the smell of corpses. Upon a thorough search, the police discovered 2 naked male bodies under a pile of straw near the radish cellar. One of the bodies was Changqing, but the other was not Kong Tanhei. It was a boy around 16 or 17 years old. The investigation team immediately sealed off the crime scene and arrested Zhimin. In a subsequent search, the police found the body of a woman, approximately 50 years old, hidden in a sack filled with fertilizer behind a pile of firewood. The discovery of 3 bodies in Long Zhimin's home caused a huge shock in the region. Police brought in sniffer dogs to search the house further, but no new evidence was uncovered. Villagers mentioned that there used to be a vegetable cellar in front of Long Zhimin's house, which had since been filled in to plant cabbage. When police dug into the area with shovels, they discovered a layer of corn leaves under the thin soil, beneath which 8 to 9 bodies were neatly arranged. After mobilizing a large force to excavate and examine the scene, by May 31st, police confirmed a total of 33 bodies had been unearthed from this pit number 3 inches. Authorities then discovered pit number 2 meters inside the pigsty, measuring 2 meters long, 1 meter wide, and 1.5 meters deep. It contained 8 bodies arranged similarly to those in pit number 3, but with earlier times of death. On June 5th, a pile of human bones was found 50 centimeters below the ground under the wall of the toilet. After examination, police identified 4 bodies and designated this as pit number 1, based on the sequence of crimes. At this point, all residents of the village were prohibited from leaving as the investigation continued. Within a week, tens of thousands of people from various places flooded into the village to hear news of the case. The case, unprecedented since the founding of the People's Republic of China, attracted the attention of senior leaders. The General Secretary at the time demanded a thorough investigation and used the case to review shortcomings in local governance. After questioning every resident of the village, police concluded that Long Zhimin had no accomplices other than his wife. In total, he had murdered 48 people, 31 men and 17 women. According to the charges, starting in March 1983, Long Zhimin wandered around bus stations, plazas and city entrances, pretending to matchmake for people with disabilities or mental illnesses. He also pretended to hire labourers at high wages, offering food and lodging to lure them back to his home. Long Zhimin would have them work for him and then wait until late at night to murder them in their sleep. In 1985 alone, Long Zhimin killed 36 people but only managed to steal a total of 573 yuan, around 81.32 USD, and 6 watches from his 48 victims. One man named Shao, from another village, narrowly escaped Long Zhimin's deadly trap. In the fall of 1984, Shao visited Long Zhimin's village to watch a movie. On the way back, Long Zhimin invited Shao to stay the night at his house, saying he had a job for him in the morning. Shao recalled that Long Zhimin's house smelled worse than a toilet, making it difficult for him to sleep. He woke up several times during the night to smoke, which may have prevented Long Zhimin from attacking. At the first light of dawn, Shao quickly left. Another victim who narrowly escaped death was a man named Lu from a nearby town. He was hired by Long Zhimin to dig a cellar for storing turnips, which was actually pit number. Zhang Lu recounted that before the digging, Long Zhimin had spread lime on the ground to mark boundaries, instructing him not to dig beyond the line. When Lu accidentally dug beyond the lime mark, he discovered a bone that looked like a human bone. Long Zhimin quickly hid it and brushed it off, claiming the area was an old burial site, then fired Lu. Thinking back, it's terrifying. If I had asked a few more questions, I might not have made it back, Lu said. One of the issues that puzzled investigators was Long Zhimin's motive for committing the murders. Experts believed that he had clear intentions of robbery, wanted free labor, and sought sexual gratification, which eventually turned into an addiction to killing. The act of continuously killing 48 people over 3 years, living among corpses, and only obtaining 573 yuan in return is certainly not something a normal person could endure. At the time, the province of Shanxi had not yet established a forensic psychiatric evaluation unit. The investigation team invited experts to examine Long Zhimin. They concluded that Long Zhimin exhibited no signs of mental illness. He reacted quickly, answered questions clearly, and was even considered intelligent. Explaining why he washed the victim's clothes to wear himself, Zhimin said that the dead didn't need clothes, and washing them would remove the smell. He cut the victim's hair because he had heard that hair doesn't decompose, and that police could later identify victims through their hair. However, he kept their hair to sell for money. As for why he only obtained 573 yuan from 48 murders, Zhimin reasoned, people with money can't be tricked, and those who can be tricked don't have money. On August 30th, 1985, Zhimin and Wu Tingzhen were prosecuted for intentional homicide. On September 20th, both were sentenced to death during a public sentencing at a stadium packed with onlookers. The sentence was carried out on September 27th. The court posted the verdict publicly, but only 3 copies were made. Police officers guarded each copy and citizens were allowed to view the verdict, but were forbidden from taking notes or photos. The verdict was only posted for half an hour before being removed. The local authorities tightly controlled the release of information regarding Zhimin's murders and restricted reporters from covering the case. A police officer revealed that this was an order from higher-ups to minimize the impact of the case. An investigation by the Ministry of Public Security showed that Zhimin's 3-year killing spree, without being detected, was due to serious negligence on the part of the local police. The authorities lacked attention when a large number of people went missing. Kong Tanhe's brother had reported his sibling missing 3 times after he went with Zhimin, but no action was taken. Afterward, Zhimin killed 2 more people. If the authorities had paid attention to Kong Tanhe's brother's reports and acted promptly, Zhimin might have been exposed sooner, and the final 2 victims might have been spared. What do you think about today's case? Please leave your comments below so we can discuss it together. Don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate our team to bring more dramatic cases. And that concludes today's case. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching. Goodbye, and see you next time.